Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Ann. I am your creative crafter who can make you turn plain objects into a project. So right now I have a onesie that I'm actually going to put a message about Juneteenth on here. So if you notice in the background, you should be able to see my Cricut back there. So I've got my Cricut design. It's going to say my first Juneteenth. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go ahead and make it. And I'm going to do it pretty much piece by piece. Alright, so I probably should have did it all together, but the reason why I didn't do it all together is because it's going to be in 3 different colors. Alright, so I'm going to have red, green, and yellow. Alright, so if you can see, I have my vinyl. I've got red. I've got yellow. And I also have green. Okay? Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tell it to make it. I'm going to make sure I'm having connectivity issues, so I'll go and refresh to make sure it's connected. Alright, so it says it is connected, so I'm going to do everyday iron on. So I have mirrored the image. Alright, so let's see here. Because it's basic cut. Let me go back. Alright, so I'm going to go back and let me go back. Alright, so I've got go back and cancel. I got one more thing I'm going to add to my image. So I'm going to copy this. So right now you cannot see my computer screen, so I'm going to actually let you see the cutting of the Cricut machine. If you just joined, make sure you say hello. Alright, so I'm going to click and make. Because I should have done this. Let's see. As a one together as an image, but I didn't because I'm going to have 3 different colors. Alright, so my first color. So if you just tuned in, I'm actually going to put a design. I'm going to put some words on this onesie from my Cricut. So if you are a Cricut user, definitely let me know in the comments. So first of all, I'm going to open my vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and open this vinyl, and this is red. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, is it going to be easier for me just to put it together as one image? And then that's probably going to, well, I'm doing 3 different colors, so I'm just going to keep it like I am. Okay. Alright, so the first one, as I put it down, because I'm actually have to cut this. So I'm gonna put that over here. So usually what I'll do is I will put this on my mat. And it's gonna be small writing. So I'll get my mat and all right, so I start at 2. I always have it a little bit over. So okay, so I have it up a little bit. And if you hear the clicking in the background, I already have my heat press on. So that way I have my heat press ready. Okay. All right. So basically, if you're just tuning in, I am about to create a shirt. Make sure you drop those hearts. All right. So I've got that. So I'm going to go to about right here. So that way I know about what to cut. And then I'm going to go over to about right here. Maybe a darker kind of marker. So I'm going to actually get me a darker marker to kind of know where I need to cut. So if you're just tuning in, I'm actually going to put an image on a shirt, a onesie, preferably. You can type in the comments if you can hear me. All right, so I've got that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. So I've got my red, because I believe that was the first color. So I'm gonna get my cutting board here. So I'm gonna cut. Going across. And then I'm going to get a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut right here. All right, so I've got my red. So I'm gonna put my red vinyl back up because I'm actually using 3 different shades of vinyl. So hopefully this turns out pretty good. All right, then I am going to use green. I'm going to use my green vinyl. So I'm going to use my green vinyl. Make sure you drop those hearts. Also, let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments as well. Also, let me know if you actually use a Cricut or if you make any customized items. You can also probably hear the thunder in the background as well. All right, so this has some tape on it, so I'm gonna get the tape off. All right, so now, all right, so I got my tape off, and I'm looking at the next one. Put it on my mat. It's probably be about the same size as the other one. So I'm about to do the same exact thing I did with the red. I'm gonna put it down on my mat, and then I'm actually gonna cut it. I'm gonna put some little marks on it so that way I know exactly where to cut. Again, in the comments, let me know where you are joining from. Okay, in the comments, let me know where you are joining from as well. So we're gonna go to probably about the same size. Go back to the same size. In the comments, let me know where you are joining from. Drop those cities and states. Definitely let me know where you are joining from. Also, type in the comments if you use a Cricut or if you ever made a t-shirt or any kind of customized item and what you use to do that. So right now I'm just cutting my pieces of vinyl. So right now I'm cutting my pieces of vinyl. All right, so I'm about to cut this piece of vinyl here. All right, so I've got my green, so I got my red, green, and I've got my other color of yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back up. All right, so now I'm gonna get my yellow vinyl out. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, welcome in. If you use a Cricut to design shirts or you customize items, please let me know in the comments. Okay, if you use a Cricut or if you customize items, please let me know in the comments. Also, drop those cities and states. Let me know where you are from. Drop those cities and states and let me know where you are from. All right, so it's going to say happy, my first Juneteenth. All right, so the next one, going down to 9, start at 2. All right, so I'm going to make probably to right here, and I'll go over, go around about right here. All right, now I'm about to use my cutting board and use that. All right, if you are joining, let me know where you are from. All right, if you are just now joining, let me know where you are from. All right, I'm gonna cut here. All right, now. All right, if you're just now joining, drop those cities and states. Let me know where you are from. Okay, if you're just now joining, drop those cities and states. Let me know where you're from. If you have ever created a customized item, or if you've ever used a Cricut, let me know. Type it in the comments. Okay, if you've ever customized an item, or if you've ever used a Cricut, let me know in the comments. All right, so now I'm gonna try to put my stuff together. All right, so I've got my I'm trying to get my Cricut board together. All right, then first, all right, when you use a Cricut, make sure the dual size on top. All right, so and then Juneteenth is going to be yellow. All right, so now we're actually going to get ready to print. I'm just going to put a little bit, because mine is not as sticky, so I'm actually just going to put a little bit of tape around the side of it, on the edges, to make sure it doesn't have any issues when it goes through the Cricut. All right, so now we're about to send it through the Cricut. All right, so now I'm about to take it to make. We're going to continue. My choices, I'm going to use everyday iron on. And if you notice here, you will see that the light on the Cricut is flashing. Let me know in the comments if you can see the light on the Cricut flashing. Okay, if you could type in the comments if you can see the light on the Cricut flashing. Let me know in the comments if you can see the light on the Cricut flashing. All right, so we're about to press this button so it can start making. So I'm going to actually let it do its thing. I'll move this back a little bit. So now my Cricut is about to cut. Now my Cricut is about to start cutting. So if you have just now tuned in, just make sure you drop those cities and states. All right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull off the vinyl. All right, I'm gonna get my weeding tool. I'm put my little light on. All right, so let me know if you can see what I'm doing. All right, so you should be able to see me using this weeding tool. So I just got to use my Cricut, so I'm actually gonna go through with the weeding tool. All right, so that's mine. All right, so I've got my next one. So I've actually weeded out one of them. So I've just used my Cricut. So I've got my, drop me some hearts if you like what you see. Okay, so I just got to use my Cricut. So I've got the first one, I got my, that's the first one I have. Then I have I've got first. So notice if you can see, I've got my, I've got first. So I got my, I got first. Y'all drop some hearts. And as you come in, let me know where you're coming in from. Drop those cities and states. All right, then I've got my yellow. I got to weed out my yellow one. All right. So let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, so I'm weeding out my last one. the clicking in the background that you hear, that is my heat press. I already have my heat press on. All right, so I'm weeding out my last part. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm pretty much gonna try to cut. So basically right now, I have, as you can see, my you can see first. You can also, may not be able to see it that well, but Juneteenth, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna cut some of this. All right, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is, so I'm actually gonna move away from this. I'm gonna set this to the side for right now. And here is my onesie, okay? Here's my onesie that I'm gonna put my letters on. So, all right. So the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my little ruler. Okay, if you are joining in, make sure you drop those cities and states. Let me know where you are from. Let me know that you can hear me. So make sure you say hello in the comments. Okay, make sure you say hello in the comments. All right, so now I got my little infant ruler here, and I am going to measure, make sure I have everything centered, because that is very important. And notice what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put, and I'll hold it up in a second before I press it. So I'm going to put my letters on here. So it's got my, trying to make sure it is centered. My, First Juneteenth. And I'll hold this up in just a minute. I think this could be cute. Part of my H got cut off, so I might have to go back and redo my H. Okay. I think I'm going to have to go back and redo Juneteenth because part of it got cut off. I'll let y'all see it and get y'all's opinion in just a second. But I'm going to go ahead and put my heat tape on the first two, and then I'm going to get y'all's opinion on if I should go back and redo. I'm going to have to probably go back and redo Juneteenth. So right now I've got my heat tape. On here. All right, so I'm gonna hold this up real quick. And I don't like the way that H turned out. I'm actually gonna go back and redo this one because I do not like the way the H turned out. So as you can see, I got my first Juneteenth. So y'all give me a second. I'm actually gonna go back and redo Juneteenth. So I'm gonna have to get out my vinyl again, and I'm gonna have to go back and redo Juneteenth. So let me get my yellow vinyl back out. So I have my yellow vinyl that I've gotten back out, and that's gonna bother me. So I've got to go back and redo Juneteenth. Okay. All right. So I got my yellow vinyl. I'm gonna have to go back to my mat. All right, so I'm gonna have to go back and redo Juneteenth. So I'm gonna do that one, and then I'm gonna add one. All right, so I want to make sure I have everything in alignment. All right, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna redo Juneteenth. So y'all give me a second. All right, so okay, if you could let me know if you're joining in, let me know where you're from. Drop those cities and states. Let me know where you are from. So basically, I didn't like the way the Juneteenth turned out. So I am going back and redoing Juneteenth. So that's what we're doing currently now. So I'm gonna have to get my cutter back out, but I'm gonna get my scissors out for right now. All right, so if you just now tuning in, make sure you drop those cities and states. So right now I am working on my shirt. I'm cutting my vinyl because one of the letters got cut off, so I'm actually going back and redoing it. So I'm gonna put my vinyl back up. And all right, so now I've got all right, so I think I pretty much fixed the vinyl on that. So now I got to go back and we'll do one more. I'm gonna go back to my red. with my red again. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Alright, now if you just joined, make sure you drop those cities and states. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you can hear me. Alright, so I'm fixing my vinyl on my mat. So I can put it back into my Cricut. So that's what we're working on currently. You hear the clicking in the background. That is my heat press. I do have my heat press on. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the side. We're going to be on just a few more minutes. Alright. We're going to go over just a little bit. So we're going to try this again. All right. All right, we're trying this again. Trying everyday iron on. All right, now the Cricut is about to cut. Now the Cricut is cutting. Okay, if you're just now tuning in, drop those cities and states. Let me know where you're from. Also, in the comments, let me know if you have ever used a Cricut. And if you've ever customized an item, please let me know in the comments. Alright, now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little tablet here. This helps me with the weeding process. So, I've got my Cricut mat. And I'm going to take my vinyl off. Alright, so I've taken my vinyl off. I'm going to put my mat back over here. Now I'm going to go back and weed. I'm going to take the tape, pieces of tape off. Let me know in the comments where you are from. Alright, so I'm going to weed this out. I'm going to do the yellow one first, because that one has Juneteenth on it. When you weed this stuff out, it's best to do slow, go slow. Okay. Alright, so this Juneteenth looks a whole lot better. So I'll definitely be using this one. I'll take the other one up. Alright, and then this one has a name on it. Again, when you weed, it is very important to go slow. Alright, so now I'm going to cut these. So notice it has the name. Okay, so notice it has the name. And we have Juneteenth, so I'm going to cut this. Cut that. Alright, so I'm going to put my tablet back over. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Alright, so I turned my tablet off. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the shirt. I'm going to take this Juneteenth off. And I'm going to put the other one on. going to use my heat transfer tape. Okay, so right now, this is how the shirt looks. My first Juneteenth. And then over on the back will be the child's name, but we'll do that in a minute. So again, as you can see, it says my first Juneteenth. So we're going to go ahead and press. Make sure I have my heat protective gloves on. So that's the first thing I'm going to do before I use my heat press. All right, so I'm getting ready to press it. Get my paper. All right, now I'm using my heat press to press it. So if you're just not joining, make sure you drop those cities and states. Let me know where you're from. Also type in the comments if you have used a heat press and what you have been able to create before. So basically I am creating a Juneteenth shirt for a 6-month-old. So right now, if you're just now tuning in, I am creating a Juneteenth shirt for a 6-month-old. I'm currently pressing the shirt right now. I use my Cricut to actually make the shirt. And you're going to see it in a minute. I'm about to get ready to take it off my heat press. All right, so here is my shirt. Here, my first Juneteenth. We're going to see, because usually with the Cricuts, usually it's a cold press. But we're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off. Right now I'm taking the heat transfer tape off. And we're about to peel it in just a minute. If you're just now tuning in, drop those cities and states. Let me know where you are from. right now I'm taking off the heat transfer tape. Well, I can go ahead and take this one up. Alright, so I'm taking off the heat transfer tape. Alright, so I'm going to take this off. So, overall, I think it turned out pretty good. My first Juneteenth. Alright, so not quite through it yet, because now I've got to tackle and put the name on the back of the shirt. And that'll be the last one, but I am going to go ahead and I am going to press it again in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and put, that's the wrong one. I've got to say infant on it. Because I still have that one out. Alright, so still have this one out. So put this tape up. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put the child's name on the back. So I got to make sure it's in the middle. Alright, so the child's name is going to be on the back. Notice again, if you're just now tuning in, I've got the front, my first Juneteenth. Okay. Alright, I went ahead and I had to break out my other heat press. I'm trying to wait for that to heat up. I can go ahead and press the front again. Alright, so again, I've got the front. So now we're going to have to focus on the back. Okay, we're going to focus on the back. So my heat press is almost ready because I had to end up using my other one. So my heat press is almost ready. All right, now we are about to go ahead and press the back. All right, so I've got to put my heat transfer tape on so that way we can make sure it does right. All right, so I'm going over here to my heat press and I'm gonna go ahead and press it. So perfect timing. All right, now I've got it on my heat press. All right, now I'm taking the shirt off my heat press and I've got my heat gloves on. I'm putting them back on as I take it off my heat press. So notice I'm about to peel this off. I use my Cricut in order to do this. All right, now I am going to go ahead and peel. Sometimes you have to wait for it to get cold, and then sometimes it can be a warm peel. With me, it kind of varies. I've done it both ways. All right, so I'm gonna take my gloves off and let's see how this turns out. So the first thing I do is I always take the transfer tape off first. So I take the transfer tape off first. All right, so now I'm about to take off the all right, now let's see here. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Cute, cute, cute. All right, so I'm gonna put it back on my heat press. All right, so hello. Miss Chelsea, how are you? Drop in the comments those cities and states. All right, now. All right, so. Oh, you're from Georgia. Oh, Miss Chelsea. I was just showing the people that I just made a onesie. I took them through all the steps through the Cricut. I made a onesie. It's got my first Juneteenth. And then it has Miley on the back. So just got through making my little Juneteenth project. Says my first Juneteenth. And then it has Miley on the back. So just got through making this. I pretty much took everybody through the process. I used my Cricut because as you can see, I have my Cricut over here in the background. You can see my Cricut. So I took them through the whole process. So just got through making the Juneteenth shirt for the little one. So again, my first Juneteenth, got the different colors. My first got the red, green, and yellow, and then Miley on the back. So stay tuned for the next episode. I'm going to go ahead and head off or whatnot, but thank you for tuning in.